Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In light of Father's Day, I really wanted to make this video to just address some things to my survivors of narcissistic abuse and to those out there that are fatherless. Sometimes the narcissist is our father. Sometimes the narcissist is our father, and when holidays like this roll around, that can be a trigger of a lot of painful memories and experiences for those of us that are adults, and for those that are still children. They're still in the midst of the heartache, and longing for their father to be something that he just seems to not be able to deliver or be. Narcissists, they are incapable. They are incapable of being a certain kind of father. And oftentimes it devastates, and of course it hurts that child. And to those of you that are grown, your inner child might still be mourning from your father's poor decisions, from his lack of empathy, from his lack of presence, from his lack of providing, perhaps, for abandoning the family, for watching him across town raise other people's children, or watching him go start another family, leaving you in the dust. And a lot of times, children, when they're seeing this, they take that personally. They think it's something wrong with them. They think it's their fault. But I want to make a video like this to let you know it's not. It's not your fault. That person is very broken on the inside. Their ability to be able to have that commitment, their ability to be able to give and receive, love, it's not the same as yours. And it never will be, unfortunately. So there's a lot of wounds and healing on the inside of you, and acceptance that you'll need to have to come to grips with in your life. But, everyone's human. You have a right, to feel upset, because it's a natural desire to want our parents, our mother and our father, to want their love and their embrace, their support in life. But unfortunately, all of us aren't dealt that hand. And all of us aren't granted that through an earthly father, per se. And then there are some of you out there that got into a relationship with a narcissist. Maybe you're already a single parent, and now your children are hurting from that experience, just as you were. So you're healing from giving your children that father. For those of you who had children with a narcissist, and then for you single parents, you're hurting from and trying to heal from your children. Because when we bring a narcissist, when we're with a narcissist, it affects more than just us. It becomes a very layered and complicated thing, because children have met the narcissist and tried to bond with the narcissist. Children are seeing from a distance how this narcissist treated you. Even if it was their own father and you guys were in a marriage that just didn't make it because of his narcissistic ways. So he discarded you and the children because they have that tendency to disengage from everything that's associated with that supply, because it's like dead to them now. So now you're seeing, when holidays like Father Day rolls around, that can be a trigger, because you guys are thinking about the father that's not there, the father that dropped the ball. And children hurt from this, even if they don't speak about it. They're hurting on the inside, and that's why survivors, if you did date a narcissist as a single parent and it didn't work out, you really need to have those conversations with your children and let them know, hey, this was unhealthy. Mommy had to separate from that, but it's not your fault. It's not anything that you did wrong. And there are still good people out there, because especially for those of you that have been stuck in the cycle of dating narcissist after narcissist after narcissist, your children are seeing this. Your daughters are seeing this. And they're going to think all men are bad. And we have to reassure them that that's not the case. Explain the narcissist brokenness. Explain the brokenness you had that made you susceptible, so that they can break that cycle, that we're not having generation after generation flocking to another narcissist, marrying another narcissist, procreating with another narcissist, and perpetuating the situation. And then, all types of situations have occurred in life. Some of you were put up for adoption by a narcissist that didn't want to be a parent or couldn't be a parent, or you had to be raised by your grandparents because your narcissistic father or whatever just wanted to run over there and do this and that. You didn't have anyone. Or you watch your mother struggle to bring you up while your narcissistic father just ghosted the family. So, I want to make this video because as beautiful as Father Day is for a lot of people who had a healthy father, who had their grandfather, and just generations of strong fathers, and, everyone being connected in the family, everybody don't have that. And I want to make sure that my survivors are just embracing themselves and being gentle with themselves on a day like today. Because I have a lot of subscribers that watch my channel that have had children with a narcissist. And perhaps on a day like today, they won't even be able to call their father, let alone see their father or give their father the card that they made in school or do things that they see other children doing. I remember my own daughter being upset about not being able to go to the father-daughter dance with her dad. Children are affected. They may not say it all the time or at all, but it's up to us as parents to open that conversation gently and be a soft, warm place for them to be able to have that conversation. That's age appropriate, of course, for where their understanding is. But there's a lot of kids in America today and just across the world that wish they could call their father today, but he happens to be a narcissist. And perhaps they haven't talked to him in a very long time as it is. He stopped taking the phone calls. He's disengaged. So don't think they're not thinking about this today, even if they don't bring it up to you. And for those of you that are healing from your own wounds, from daddy issues, And from, giving your children that narcissist as a father, be gentle with yourself as well. But the good news is, in this whole situation, is having a good father, it doesn't have to come through your earthly father. That would be ideal, to be able to have that. But guess what? We still have our Father in heaven, and He knows our sorrow. He knows our hurts. He knows our pains. He knows our disappointments. He knows that we long. But He's the Father, the ultimate Father that protects all of us. And He's always there to give you that embrace. And I think, the orphans of the world, or the fatherless, He's putting His arms around you. He's always had you in His hand. And then there's other people in your life that you may be able to look up to in that way. If it's an older brother, if it's an uncle, if it's a cousin, or a family member, if it's someone in the community, someone at your church, your pastor perhaps. There can be other men that are able, a friend, your husband, for those of you who had a narcissistic father but were able to actually, marry a healthy man that loves you. Or for those of you that are in a relationship with a healthy man. Because there are good men out there, just as there are broken men. So it's very possible that someone else can step up. So many times, a lot of women, they have the children with a narcissistic father, and God, blesses them eventually with a healthy man, and He steps in and He provides that fatherly role to the child. It happens. It happens. But I wanted to make this video in light of Father Day, just to address some different scenarios. I'm sure I didn't think of all of them in this video. But the whole message is, today can be a trigger for those survivors of narcissistic abuse who grew up with a narcissistic father, or the narcissistic father just left, and didn't even grow up with him. He was just not there. And for those of you who procreated with it, and now you're watching your children, maybe feel sad today or a little triggered in the household because of the memories around a difficult father, a broken father, a disturbed father, a narcissistic father. Just come together as a family. Maybe you guys go to church, maybe do a fun activity, have a great Sunday dinner, just try to bring as much light into the day. And we always have our Heavenly Father, okay? So I hope that this video resonates with someone, because I've heard about a lot of pain. People even getting molested by their narcissistic father. Like, I've heard a lot of situations. So I know a lot of people are, today is a triggering day, perhaps. And we never forget these things. So just take it easy, guys. Take it easy. And tomorrow will be another day. But still make the best of today. Okay? All right, guys. Take care.